I feel the cool breeze, it's such a lovely tease.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Pasca paint party. And today we are doing what I call paint and sip style, because for those of you who don't know what a paint and sip is, it's when you all get together and everybody paints the same thing, and it's based on a painting, a specific painting. So today what we're doing is painting Drew's painting, the one that's right behind us, and it's called Wyland. And there's a good story behind this, which we'll tell as we get going. But before we get going, hopefully you all have your art supplies with you. And I wanted to mention and give a shout out to Posca, the company that makes our favorite medium, Posca paint pens. Last week's winner of the giveaway was Von Scorpion. And if you are on this, Von Scorpion, we have not gotten your mailing address yet, so you need to send that to us. And of course, tonight, somebody else is going to win, and we will announce it on Instagram. I am going to go into my secret, what do I call it? Control room.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it up to you.
All right. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm really stoked to share this piece with you guys and girls. What's neat about this piece behind me is this is the very first canvas painting I did with Posca paint pens. We're trying to figure out what year it was. I think it was 1997. And this is after years of painting surfboards and trying to figure out, I think I'd painted on some wood and some scrap stuff. But this is on canvas. This is the first time I bought an actual canvas to paint on. And this is a kind of a collaboration of all this cool stuff that I've done on surfboards. And we decided to do it on canvas so we could make it into a t-shirt. And this was a t-shirt for Lost Enterprises. And it was one of the best t-shirts ever. And as we go, I'll tell you the story of what it was inspired by and the humble beginnings of really my whole art career. And it kind of does start with this painting and kind of the little bit of story that goes along with it. So, all right. So today I'm going to be painting on this scrap piece of wood, which is reminiscent of the days before this painting, where I was just painting on anything I can get my hands on. I would be the guy picking up scrap pieces of wood and metal and stuff all over the place. And I think I was probably like 25, 26 years old. So those were some good days, and some really good art came out of this. Today we're going to need some things. We're going to be doing a circle. So I have a circle. You can use a plate. You could probably use a compass if you wanted to. There's all kinds of things you can make circles with, but that's going to kind of set up our painting. And this painting was really inspired, the coming into the circle, by Wyland's art gallery in Haleiwa, Hawaii. So I lived in Haleiwa, and I painted surfboards for Raging Owl Surf Shop and Pro Glass, the glass factory that was there that made most of the surfboards on the North Shore. And so I was painting surfboards every day. And then after work, I would wait out by the bus at the little bus stop for the 52 bus. And it was right in front of Wyland Galleries. And at the time, Wyland was probably at the height of his career. And I would be sitting out there with paint all over me. And he was kind enough to always invite me in and show me the art. And he used to do these paintings with collaboration paintings with other artists, where he would do the whale swimming down here, and then another person would do these cool Hawaiian landscapes. Well, since I was not that good of an artist, I just kind of made my own, like, kind of over and under piece. And a lot of times you put them in these circles, which just added this like really cool perspective. And for my what I was trying to do is just force perspective, where I'd have things coming out. And that's kind of what we're going to do today, is play with that and show how we can like pop things out. Now, keep in mind, I did this when I was 25. So this was not the best painting I've ever done, but it is the thing that set up everything. So let's try to recreate something like this not exactly like this, but with the idea of the sun, the wave, and the sea creatures. We can put more or less sea creatures in it. And but the whole idea is to maybe get some things shooting out of it to get that forced perspective, you know. And so that's what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's get our stuff going. And I'm going to, let's switch to this overhead camera and see how that looks. All right, get my pens ready. And I'm going to show you how I do this. All right, I saw Haley there for a minute. Hi, Haley. All right, so you can see I have this, and I did this painting the same way. I would take my square or my tape measure, and I would find the middle, and then that middle, you know, I would create a cross section, and from there, I would be able to do my circle. So you can notice this thing already has a cross on it. I've used it before, and I just line it up with the lines here, 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 and here. Now, if you're using a plate, maybe measure, you know, how far from the edges it is so it's nice and even. If you're working on something that's not square, just try to get it centered the best you can, and that'll be good enough. All right, so mine's all ready to go. And I'm just gonna do a light circle. I'm gonna get this is a 3 mil, I'm gonna get a 5 mil, just so it's nice and bright. So just like every other piece, the idea is everything. So as I've talked about this painting already, you can see I clearly had an idea laid out for what I wanted to do with it. And so it wasn't like I just made it up on the fly. I did a sketch and all that kind of stuff. And this is a theme that goes with all the paint parties, is that your idea is everything. So let's just go with this idea. I'm going to sketch this real loosely. And there again, I'm not going to do it exactly like this piece, but very similar. So I'm going to do the sun in orange, the wave in blue, and maybe the fish in green. So I can, and I'll do that, and that'll be the sketches. So the first thing I'm going to do is the lip line of the wave, which really is going to set up everything. That's our line of action, kind of, you know, like, okay, the whole flow is going to be like that. So I'm going to do kind of like that. I need the bigger one so you can see it. And I want to make sure I leave enough space for this sun up here, because the sun's going to inhabit this kind of space up in here, right? So let's make sure we leave enough space for that, because you don't want it all tightened up there. Maybe just a little bit above halfway. All right, and then I'm going to do some, this is just kind of my wave, like kind of getting caught in this little dealy bob. And now, so that's the top of the wave. Now I'm going to do the inside of the wave. Something like that. Now we want to do the over and under wave. So what's cool about this is this sky piece is part of it, this wave piece is part of it, and then this underwater piece is part of it. So we want to make sure we have all of that. And I probably could have got even more underwater stuff, but I'm not going to get too many fish in there because it'll take too long. I'm just going to do 2 or 3, and that'll be good. All right, so something like that. Let's see if this one actually comes out better than my old one. Okay, I'm going to get this inside of the wave. So everybody just get their like little wave guy going.
I have the sketch, the original sketch from this.
Oh yeah, show it to everybody. Sure.
Okay. Bear with me, I'm gonna find it.
Okay, now I'm gonna add some bubbles to white water. And I might even have some white, this is like where I might add some white water splashing out, like right there. So you see how it's already gonna have some of this forced perspective, like it's busting through a little porthole or something. All right.
And I'm going to do the sketch right now while I have it up.
All right, let's see it. Oh yeah, wow, look at that.
1990. Oh, it says 1998 on it. See that?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I guess it was
It must
98.
have been early 1998.
Yeah. But you can see how the original sketch even had one more fish like charging out of it. And all those little scribbles on it are my and Matt Biolas, my friend's comments of what we wanted to do to make it better. And you can see that one has a little bit more water underneath than the one I'm doing because I had a lot of sea creatures in there. So I'm going to do a little less sea creatures and more wave. All right. Thanks, honey. That's cool. And so now I'm just doing the white water, and I want to kind of blaze through this sketch. So it's just having fun with it. Sound effects is appreciated. Now, another thing I started doing at this time was having the water bubbles come out, like shooting out. So you can see in this one, these guys are coming out. And this was an early primitive way that I did this. Oh, you guys can't see this. Can we switch to the other camera real quick? I keep forgetting. There we are. So you can see this is where these guys just kind of spit out. Over the course of my career, I really elongated these and had them shooting really far. But this was one of the first times I did it. And that's what we're going to add to right on this right now. Thanks, Haley. We'll switch back. And then, so, you know, the line of action with that is, you know, just having it pop out like it's coming, splaying out somehow. And it doesn't, some of them can be really big, like coming out like that. See how that one's like coming way down? And even this one can be too. So exaggerate it. Whoa. So mine looks like kind of a mess, but it's coming together. All right, so now I'm gonna add a shark. I love sharks. You know, sharks ride waves too. It's really cool. And I'm gonna have him kind of half in and half out. So I'm just gonna do like a little shape. Yeah, you can see it good. Let me do it in green so you can make sure you know what the different ones are. And sharks, other than different than dolphins, everything's just more angular. Something like that, and their tail is like really sharp. Something like that. Big mean eye, another mean eye. 5 gills. All right, that was pretty good. And then let's do it.
I want to interrupt for just a moment. We have
Sure.
a few new people here, and I just
Great.
wanted to let everybody know that at any time you can ask a question in the comments. You can in the chat. You can type a question in the chat. I'll be the moderator, and I also wanted to welcome people to share their comments. And in about 10 or 15 minutes, if you hit the raise your hand button or leave a message in the chat that you want to share what you're working on, I will spotlight you, and we'll put the camera on you, and you can share what you're doing. But please ask questions. If you want Drew to repeat something or slow down on something, just let us know. Okay, and Kelly Bruck wanted to know when there's time. She wants to share, and yes, absolutely. We'll start sharing in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So you can see as she was talking, I just did my this little fish here. But you see how I have the tail kind of going out of the frame? So he's actually bigger than the shark at this point. So he's pretty gnarly. And then I might even take these bubbles and make these bubbles out of the frame. All right. Now, the other thing I had in there was an octopus, but I don't want to put a big octopus because the octopus arms are very tedious to do. So I'm just going to put like just one, maybe 2. Now we could do, I think next week we're going to be doing grayscale, just so you know. And maybe after that, we'll do octopus arms, because I just had to do an octopus the other day, and doing the suction cups and everything for octopuses are really not difficult, but there is some easier ways to do it, and to make it a little bit more forgiving. And maybe we'll cover that in one of these other classes. All right, so we can see our little octopus. And then I want to put a fish shooting out here. Oh, it's getting busy in here. Now, you don't have to do all of this, but I'm just showing you how it could happen. And then this fish, I want to do another little fish right here, and he's smaller, like falling back in space. All right. Wow, that looks pretty cool. All right, now let's work on this sun. I'm going to put the sun in the center because all this stuff is like running all over the place. This is going to kind of balance it out. And so I'm going to put these eyes right here in the center.
You know, the other thing I want to say to the people who are new is that while it seems like things are moving fast, this is really how you learn. If you come back week after week, just jump in. It's like the fast track quantum leap to expanding what you already know how to do. So just stick with it.
Yeah, and you know, I want everybody to know that this is just exploring cool ideas. So every time we do a paint party or a class specifically on something, this is really just trying to open you up to have fun. Like right now, this is the fun thing. And I'm just kind of scribbling and making it as cool as I can. So, you know, these rays and things are coming out of here like this. This just like goes right back to that flame class. So all these sun rays would go to the flame class. You know, I've shown you how to do these like cool little bubbles and characters. And then the wave. Oh, I hear somebody. So now I'm going to start painting. So what I want to show you here, let's add a couple more bubbles up here, and a couple bubbles down here, and now we got kind of a complete piece. Now with any painting, this might look kind of overwhelming, like where do I start? And always, it's very methodical for me. I've always said this in every class. I start with the lightest color combination first. So that color combination is going to be this, and it is going to be the white water. And, you know, we're not going to be able to complete this painting today, but I want you to understand the methodology and how I paint. So I created this cool sketch. It's on this piece of wood, and now it's just time and sitting there and having fun and break it down by each little section. So I'm going to do this white water. I'm going to do all the white water first, and then that'll be done. And then I'm going to go to another color combination, which will be probably the dark blue, light blue to white, which will be these, the water. And then I'll probably do the sun, and then I'll start doing these characters. So don't try to do the whole thing at once. Try to just do these little spaces. All right, so I'm going to start with right up here. And so I put down the darkest color, and then I'm going to blend it out. And I suggest everybody just work with the 3-color combination. You can see this. And the sketch is just my map. It's just a suggestion of what I want to create. And you can see there's a lot of messy lines in here. Let's see if I can get this a little closer so you can see. Ta-da! But you pick the lines you like. So all of this is just a map, and I can see within there some different ideas that I want to, you know, kind of explore. And I'm going to paint over this whole thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then afterwards, I'm going to blackline it and get it all sharp, like a reverse coloring book. You see how I'm doing this? So I'm just picking the lines I like. All right, so let's knock this out. This is a great time for anyone to ask questions, maybe in the chat, so Maria can read them to me, and then we'll be sharing in just a little bit. We have any questions in there, honey?
Yeah, we do. And before I get to Janet's question, John Schwantes said that he's joining us from Detroit, which is where Wyland is from.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wyland grew up in Detroit and ended up in Laguna Beach, California, and became the artist who painted 100 Wailing walls.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty phenomenal story in and of itself.
Yeah, so he actually showed up here in San Clemente in, I think it was the 80s. And I think him and Bill Stewart were sharing airbrush ideas. He was an airbrusher. So Wyland started out kind of just like me, just trying to figure it out. Made his way out here from Detroit. He loved, you know, painting, and he loved nature. And he built a beautiful career, and he's been very kind to me over the years.
There's a really good question from Noodles.
Yes.
Do you prime the surface first, or is it not necessary on wood?
That's a very good question. So I did spray this piece of wood just to seal it off. Otherwise, you'll get wicking, and the paint pen will get in there, and it'll start like traveling up the little fibers. So it's always good to just seal it up a little bit. Another reason you want to do that is raw wood's really sensitive to warping. So if you're going to do it on both sides, because the moisture gets in on the other side, it's not really going to help you much. I'm going to get this thicker.
Okay, Janet's question is, what tip size are you using?
So
she's wondering what size to get. And Janet, I'll just tell you, I'm going to put a link to a video in the chat in just a moment, as soon as I find it, where Drew shows you all the different tips. But Drew, if you want to give like the short answer right now.
Yeah. So for something this size, the best tip is a 5M, which is this one. This is a 3M. It's a little smaller. It's good for fine detail. If I was working on a canvas that was smaller than this, maybe a quarter this, you could use 3s. But the 5s are good for this one. And if you're really good and fast, you can use the 7s, which you can notice I'll put a lot of this light blue down with the 7 and then come down and blend it with the 5. It's whatever you're comfortable with, but it's really hard to get nice consistent blends with too big of a pen on a small surface. The 7s work great on surfboards. That's why it's like my signature pen for painting surfboards, is because it allows you to cover a lot of area quickly and make your surfboard look pretty cool. If you were trying to
link in the chat to the video, don't watch it now, but watch it later, like if you can copy it or however you save it. And if you don't save it, just go to YouTube Brophy Art Academy channel, and it's one of the most recent videos that I added. It's just like a 4 or 5 minute watch where Drew talks about all the different tips. And while you're in there, subscribe to our channel. We want to get up to 600 subscribers by the end of the month, and you can help us do that. Okay, and here's another question.
Sure.
Kimberly, and I'm going to answer this one if you don't mind.
That's fine.
How did you two meet? You two were the cutest. Thanks, Kimberly. Okay, well, we met in 1996 at a little quiet dinner party in San Clemente, California, and went swimming in the ocean in the middle of the night, and it was freezing cold, October 25th, 1996.
Wow, you're not keeping track, are you?
Yeah. There's a lot more to the story. You'll have to buy the book.
There we go. So you can see I'm just kind of getting all this out. Now I'm going to do these jutting out pieces. But you can see how it comes together pretty easily. And if you paint this way, it'll really allow you to focus on just one little section at a time. and not get overwhelmed. I think that's one of the cool things about painting with the Poscas and, you know, with this technique that I do, is it just makes it easier. So if you're sitting on the couch or you're listening to music, you just worry about the colors you have in your hand at the moment and just keep going until you all of a sudden looking like, okay, I got all those color combinations. What color do I want to do next? And the reason we do the lightest color combinations first is because it's easier to do dark over light than it is to do light over dark. So we want to make sure we get all these light color combinations in the painting first. And that way we're not trying to cover up some like heavy dark areas, especially dark blue. Dark blue is really hard to cover because it seems like when you put clear on the paint pen, the dark blue wants to bleed through. And that can be a problem. All right, more questions, please.
Any questions? It's kind of quiet today.
Kind of quiet. How many folks we have out there?
We have 52 people on right now.
Oh, welcome everyone.
Really glad you're all here.
And keep in mind,
people that want to share.
You know, let's get a little bit further ahead before we start sharing. You know, everybody, you know, this is, you don't have to keep up with me. I'm just really trying to show you the steps. And I'll do a time lapse of this like I did the Bali mask so you can kind of really see mine completed as well. You can see how I'm going half in. Let me see if I can get, I'm cutting off there. So I'm taking that pen and half in and half out. If everybody hears me say that, if you're new, I take the light pen and I blend it halfway in. I'm trying to get it so you can see. My hand's not in the way. And I just go out and it doesn't mess up the tip of the pen to get the light blue and light green on the white. And you can see as I go around it, it bleeds out all the color and it's white again. So you see that nice blend I just did.
I have a couple questions now.
Good.
First, I want to welcome Amy, a young lady who's joining us, I think, for the first time. Hi, Amy. And then there's no name, it just says from iPhone, so I don't know who asked this question, but iPhone said, I prime my canvas with 2 coats of gesso. Do you think I should have used a fixative as well? Oh, that's Moth in South Oz. Hey, Moth.
Yeah. No, the gesso usually works pretty good on the gesso. You know, even if you want it to be a little smoother, you can, because it just kind of creates a nice slick surface when you spray it. Sometimes, depending on what kind of gesso you use, it can be real chalky feeling. And so it's not as smooth as a surface to work on. So it doesn't glide and blend as much as you want. It's really up to you and how much time and effort you want to put into it. All right, I'm almost done with this white water.
Okay, and then Noodles asked, will you seal this piece at the end with the spray gloss?
Yeah, probably a satin. So I don't like to spray things with glosses just because they don't photograph well. And they usually have a, you know, just like a shiny spots on them. So I'll spray this with satin afterwards.
Jocelyn wants to know, what do you usually draw on?
When I draw, I have all kinds of sketch pads, Strathmore sketch pads, and, you know, sometimes just scratch paper, sometimes just on the side of the thing, you know, I'm like, you know, think of something cool, and I'm like, oh, I want to do some eyes. Oh, you can't see that. Let's see. You know, I'm like drawing things like all over the place. You know, but just, you know, I draw on everything. But I have sketchbooks. I have a bunch of like those, I forget what they're called, but they're just black, like textbooks with full of paper. And those work really good. So now I'm going to do one more line that goes across to separate the water. And for that, I'm just going to take the light blue and do that one, maybe a little bit of that, and then on top of that. So the light blue's on the bottom, and I don't want to get that too thick up there. And something like that. And then we'll just do a little hatchety, like try to make it look like a little curved line. Like a little bit of white water, you know, like when you go to the ocean and you see the white water like sitting on top of the water, like foam. It's a little foam.
I want to go back to the show an image, show the Wyland image for my screen real quick, just for a moment.
Yeah, from what it's inspired by, sure.
Yeah. Just to show it one more time.
Yeah, so there's mine.
That's what we're working from. Hey, Ty from San Diego just joined us. Ty, so good to see you. Haven't seen you in so long. We miss you.
All right, so it's stuck on the my piece, honey.
Yep.
Did you not find the Wyland piece?
I'm getting that next. It's a little tricky with the screen sharing, so I found that it works better if you just do it one by one. Okay, now here comes Wyland's piece.
Yeah, so this
Sunrise.
Yeah, so this is one, I don't know which artist this is, but Wyland would have done the bottom and he would have had another artist do the top. So him and I were supposed to do one together where I did the top with a wave and he would do a whale. And we actually did a board live at a Pearl Jam concert, which was pretty rad, but he did a bunch of these. So you can kind of get the idea where this idea came from. You see his fish swimming out. And so that's why this piece is kind of cool with a little bit of history. Another cool thing about Wyland is years later, Marie and I were doing these trade shows in New York City. And Wyland was there doing the trade show too. And this was a good 15 years later. He walked up to my booth and he says, "About time you got here," which felt really good because he had remembered me when I was dirty, just painting surfboards in Hawaii. And he had been watching my career.
You were like starving to death.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to this. There we go. So now I've done all that color scheme. So you see, I just worried about those three colors and I did all the ones. Like I might find some missing things, but we pretty much got that done. Now I'm going to switch to the red, orange, and yellow, and I'm going to do this sun up here. And this is what I really want everyone to get. I keep saying it over and over again. If you stick to this idea, then you'll be able to complete your paintings more efficiently. Don't worry about any black or anything like that yet. Just get these little color areas worked out. So I'm going to do the orange, and then I'll worry about, you know, some of these other characters individually and all the wave and everything like that. So even if I'm doing the wave, I don't worry about all of this wave. I do it just like I did these guys. I do this little part, this little part, this part, this part, this part, then this part, then this part, then this part, and then this part, and this part. So it's real methodical. So I'm going to start with the, like his eyebrows up here, darkest color first. And I'm going to put a little red on there. And then I'm going to get the orange. I wish I could get my hand out of the way. Half in, half out.
And it's time to share at least a couple people.
Sure, start sharing.
Why don't we start with Callie Bruck, and then we're going to go to Dubs. So Callie first. Callie, you're going to have to unmute yourself. And once you, let's see, there we go. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Good.
Let's see what you got.
We went to the 99-cent store and we found this skull that lights up.
Oh, cool.
And so we got it, and it was just a normal sugar skull, and I painted it white. Then I used my Pasca to like draw a bunch of things on it.
God, that is so good. What a great idea.
My brother named it Sir Rainbow.
Sir Rainbow, I like that. Are you going to paint the whole thing, or are you just going to keep going and paint them all up?
I'm still I'm still trying to think what else I should put on him. Right now I have like a spider, top hat, bunch of random things.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you got some good blends going there. Good job. Yeah. Nice seeing you.
That was amazing.
God, that was a great idea.
I need to go buy one of those. All right, we're gonna go to Dubs next. Dubs, I want you to unmute yourself and have your artwork ready to show us. Ready to show us. Whoa.
Hey, Dubs.
Hey, what up? I got your book.
Oh, yeah. The book is
Yeah,
cool.
and there you go. Yeah, doing the octopus?
Yeah, man. You're getting those suckers down. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
So those are my early suckers in this painting.
Yeah.
They're not as good as my new suckers.
Right, right.
So
I just want to tell you real quick. I finished this today.
holy smokes, Dubs.
Yeah.
That is cool, man. Look at the
Yeah,
surfer.
Yeah, dude.
Where's that going?
It's a double. It's a fine art piece, so it's a double-sided.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's one side. I did the rails. I wrapped it.
Love that. Wrapped around.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like your
did that.
I like your surfer guys. They're like little.
I know. Yeah. It's my new thing. They're like my first surfer dudes. So it's
Yeah.
cool. You know,
All
put
right.
some action in it.
How you doing
Yeah,
down
dude.
here in Florida? Everything's good?
Everything's good, man. I love it.
All
Yeah, I
right.
want to come to Cali and see you guys one of these days. So
All right. Well, we miss you,
Yeah.
man.
okay, miss you guys.
See ya. Our good friend Dubs down there in Stewart, Florida.
Known him for years. We love Dubs. All right, we're gonna go to Heather Williamson next. So Heather, I'm gonna have you unmute yourself and then we're gonna spotlight you. So be ready to show us your artwork. Heather. Hi.
Hello. I don't think we can hear you, but let's see what you're working on. Can you show us what you're painting?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the sound, but
All right. You got some blue. Right on.
awesome.
You guys see if you can get your sound working and we'll check back in on you.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you keep working, we'll come back. Okay.
We're all learning this Zoom thing as best we can.
Sometimes it's like a glitch and you have to log off and log back on. I mean, I don't know why, but that's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple comments if that's all right.
Can we go to this?
Yep.
There we go. Show everybody how I'm progressing with the next color scheme.
Well,
Yeah,
that's some really good questions. What's the weirdest thing you've ever done a sketch on? Surfing wanted to know.
The weirdest thing I've ever had to sketch on.
Yeah.
You know, I used to, be down on the beach for the Pipeline Masters, and I've had to sketch logos on pro surfers' surfboards on the fly because they didn't have logos on their boards. And so I've had to actually paint their logos like right before they go out into a heat because they would get in trouble. And so I've had guys track me down with say, hey man, I need this right now. And I just do it in 20 seconds. It could be a Quicksilver logo or a Billabong logo or Gotcha back in the day. But I think that was the fastest and weirdest thing. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Oh, here's a good, I skipped this question by accident by Steve Ertz. Steve asked about artists that inspired you, and the second part of the question is is Drew's autobiography available for digital purchase? Not available in digital yet.
Yeah.
We plan on that. However, you can find it on Amazon.com. Just do a search of Drew Brophy and you'll find it. And thanks for asking about that, Steve. And Drew, artists that inspired you.
I was a kid and I grew up with books of the masters of like Dali and Picasso and, Michelangelo and stuff. And I didn't really, I always say I didn't really set out to be an artist. I was always just really good at it. And I love to surf and actually play music. And so it wasn't until I was older, I started painting my surfboards. And I guess from looking at Surfer magazine, I was inspired by, you know, all the great, you know, guys of the 70s like Bill Ogden and Rick Griffin and Jim Phillips, and, you know, just these guys, John Severson. And it wasn't that I was like looking at their stuff. It's just you couldn't help it because those were the guys doing all the advertising and cool surf stuff. Later on, I was really into my friend Chris Lundy, who is passed now. He was a friend of mine in Hawaii. His work's amazing. Anybody that hasn't seen his work. But yeah, look up Chris Lundy and Bill Ogden and of course Rick Griffin is amazing. And a lot of people say they can see a lot of Rick's influence in mine, and I really think that came from just looking at those magazines.
So Stan Shaw wrote, I just wanted to say thanks to Drew and Maria for having these paint parties. Nothing like taking a break from 7 hours of calls to see Drew work his magic.
Right on.
Stan, good to see you here, Stan. We've
Yeah.
been a long time. It's so awesome just having this group of people that, I mean, our inner circle. Our inner circle. Okay, Deborah asked, what do you use for pencils, and do you erase anything?
Good question. I don't use any kind of fancy pencils or anything. Just a regular #2 pencil. I sketch in my sketchbooks first, just really messy and you know, creating these little maps. If I'm working on something for a client where it has to be perfect, I do more detailed sketches. But most part, just like I did this one here, they're real crude, and it's just a map to get me started. And from there, I just let it flow. And I have a lot of fun just letting it flow. And I think magical things happen with that.
Okay, a couple more questions, and then we're going to do a couple more shares. So the next people we're going to share with is Joel Daddio and Yay. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Y-A-Y. Yay. But before we do that, Ty asked, did you put a varnish on the wood before the Posca? Because he showed up late, he missed that. And the answer is yes. And then here's another question from Moth in South Australia. The question is, thanks for the answer on the gesso. Yes, sometimes it feels chalky. I've done my pencil sketch. Would it be a bad idea to put a fixative now and lock in the sketch?
You could, but sometimes I just paint over it, and sometimes the pen will pick up a little bit of that and make it a little muddy, but I don't let it bother me. I just kind of go with it. But you know, sometimes if you lock it in, I think that I don't know, I've never really done it, so I don't think it could harm anything. I'm usually just painting so fast and just getting these ideas out. I just go right through the sketch. And sometimes I even use it to my advantage. If it starts getting like picking it up, I'll just start like making a darker color with it and then kind of playing with that pencil lead. How's that? There we go. I'm almost done with this sun.
So another question, and this, anybody that's not sure how to change their name on Zoom, so sometimes your name shows up as like iPad or iPhone or whatever. There's 3 little dots like on most devices in the upper right-hand corner of the square that shows you. There's 3 little dots. If you click on it, there's a way to rename yourself. So that somebody asked that question. Okay, let's see.
I want to show everybody I've switched again to another color scheme, which is dark blue to light blue to white. And I'm going to be doing these bubbles and the top of the wave and some of these things. What I wanted to say before we go to showing is be careful not to drag your hand through the painting. So I put my elbow down usually and then paint like this, and I'm not touching anything and going over it. Some people put a piece of wood down and lay it like that. But another good thing to do is start furthest away and then work your way this way. So you're not like don't start here and then go that way. Then you're dragging your hand. Just a quick tip. There we go. All right. All good, honey.
Okay, so why don't we, so we have a lot of people that want to share. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Draw Daddy-O, and then after Draw Daddy-O, we'll go to Jocelyn, Moth, and Anthony. Oh, actually, did I skip Yay? Draw Daddy-O, then Yay, then Jocelyn, Moth, and Anthony. When we come to you, please have your art ready to show. We have just a few minutes left, so I want to move through it quickly. And I'm unmuting Draw Daddy-O right now, so just hit the unmute button, and here we go.
Hey,
I asked if I could share my screen. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, we're seeing your face.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Oh, I see what you mean. I see
yeah.
what you mean. Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Are you painting digitally or?
Yeah, I have a digital picture, and I tried to show it on my screen, but it wouldn't show up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that.
No, I've done it. I've hosted Zoom meetings before, and all you have to do is there's a place down at the bottom that says let anybody share a screen.
Okay.
That's the participant. You should be at the bottom if you move your mouse down there.
That's a job for Maria.
Yeah.
Doing it. Let's see. Okay.
I don't want to take up too much time. If it's a big deal, forget it.
Okay.
I think it's something good to learn.
Let's see if that works. Try that. Did it work?
No.
Well, wait a second. If you did it, I'll try to do it here. Yep, I think it worked.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay! Wow, that's cool, man.
That's based on a couple weeks ago when you were talking about how to draw waves and stuff, and I just came up with the idea for the Tiki Sun, I call it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thanks. Still working on it. I have actually further along than this, but this is the only one I could grab real quick.
So you just like keep adding to it? Can you like?
Yeah, the sun's darker, and I have some rays going off the sun, and some other things I'm adding. I'm still working on the wave, and there's a lot of things I got to add to it still.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks working digitally, and that's really cool to I haven't been exposed to that.
Yeah.
I will manipulate some of my art for like with Photoshop to change things around, like a client doesn't like something, but
yeah.
Cool.
Right on. Well, thanks for sharing. Now
Thank you.
Yeah, we know how to do something new now. That's great.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, now we are going to go to, who did I see? Oh, Yay. Let's see. Yay. If you are still wanting to share, oh, Yay is gone. Okay. Then we are going to go to Jocelyn. Jocelyn. You need to unmute yourself, and then I'm going to spotlight you. Let's see. There you are. Hi.
Hey.
I'm not drawing what, like, your first thing. I've been working on this, and I just started to Pasca it.
Oh, that's good.
Me and my cousin Campbell, I'm going to send it to her.
Right on. And
Really good.
And
What
so,
are you using? What are you painting with or drawing with?
you have Poscas, and what are you painting on? Is that paper or is it canvas?
This is a canvas.
Canvas. Right on. You feel like some of these little tips are helping you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't wait to see it done.
Thank you for sharing with us. Okay, we are gonna go to Moth in South Oz.
South
Okay.
Oz. I wonder what time
How's
it
it going?
is. Hey, I can hear you. We're
Oh,
can't
wait a
see
minute,
you
I'm
yet.
trying to find you. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
There. wait a
What
minute.
time? What time is it down there?
It's about 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, not too bad.
So this is a commission piece that I've had for a little while. I only just started this morning since you've been talking.
Oh, killer.
Yeah, so I've got the underwater. This is going to be a salmon here. That's going to be the sun up there. I'll get some Drew flames happening here.
Yeah.
Off the moon up there. Maybe a shark and a dolphin eyeing off the salmon. He's going to be fishing there, and his beach shack over here.
Yeah, that's a good layout, man. I like that long linear deal.
Yeah, well,
Wave looks
that's
really
the size
nice.
he wanted. So yeah, I had to work with what he wanted, and pretty stoked with how the layouts come out this morning.
Yeah. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about sealing. Oh, look at this one. Yeah.
There's
Oh,
some
that's-
older ones that I've done a while back. So
Oh, you're having so much fun. I love it.
What is,
Yeah.
so
I
your
think
name
I've
is,
showed you the kids ones before.
Yeah. Oh, look at the go back to the blending on the baby is like killer.
Yeah, well, the
Everybody
kids
see
did
it.
all of that except for that face blending. I had to do that to help out. I could see my 8-year-old wasn't going to quite get that, so
Yeah,
I
but
just helped her with that. But she did the rest.
I want everybody to see that though. That's like such good blending, and you know that you can get that depth and that shadowing, and
Yeah.
the pens are just magic.
Yeah, well, here's some stuff she did the other day. I just wanted to outline this one. I
Yeah,
didn't help with that one, and just yeah, I mean they're just loving it. The kids are just loving the Posca art. You know, they're
it's
just
it's
there's
such a
art all over. You got more art in your house than we do at ours.
I know.
yeah, no, they love it. They're such a good tool.
Yeah, you better not fall asleep. They might paint you.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see that done, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, thanks for putting on these parties. They're unreal. Thanks for the inspiration.
Yeah, man. You
Thanks
guys,
for showing up.
yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. You know, it's so great just, you know, connecting with everybody. You know, we're all learning to do new things. We're learning from each other. I think that's one of the coolest things. And also just, you know, making this space to create, you know, every week. And sometimes it's hard, you know, you get busy doing other things and you leave your paintings and you don't finish them. I just want to encourage everybody to try to finish their pieces and just have as much fun with them as possible.
Well, and consistency is where you see so much growth, you know? Okay, now
Yeah.
we're gonna go to Anthony. Anthony, have your art ready. We are spotlighting you. Hi there. What's
Hi.
Hey, Anthony,
Hi.
let's see it.
up? You again.
All right. Look, you
Yeah.
got all the components in there. Perfect. Oh, I like your octopus. He's just, you gonna make him pink?
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I think pink and purple. I do pink and purple octopuses all the time. And
And this is my third class.
yeah, and you feel like you're learning a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about having fun sketching? Isn't it fun just coming up with a cool idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep working on it. I'd like to see it finished. Oh, I love that. So you can see that, you know, I'm just plodding along, and there again, I want to just show everybody how I'm just going from one little space to another. So while we've been talking, I did that one, and then this one, and I'm just working my way around. And that, you know, method is really going to help you just stay on point and allow you to finish your pieces. And let's say you have to go do something and you finished with this color combination, you know exactly what to do next. You're not lost. I see people get really frustrated when they don't know what to do next. So that's kind of what I'm kind of trying to show you, that if you come up with a great concept like this, and you got these like forced perspectives and you got all these characters, it looks a little overwhelming and intimidating. But through this method, you can break it down and just keep painting. And next thing you know, you're going to look up at some point and it's going to be done and it's going to be amazing. I mean, you've watched me create this while we've been sitting here. It'll probably take another couple hours to finish this, but the whole process is fun and it's not very difficult. And you can see this piece, the piece I did, which inspired that, you know, and I did that a long time ago. And the reason the Posca pens I feel are so great is it really allowed me to feel confident about my painting. Other materials for me just didn't do that. I didn't know what to do with them, and it wasn't as intuitive as just painting with the pen. And it just allowed me to grow really fast. Where you can take that from, you know, you'll learn things that basically you can apply to it later. So if you pick up acrylics or oils or something like that, you already have the confidence, the color theory, the composition, the character design, the line of action, the, you know, all these other things. And you were able to practice it many times with the Poscas first. So I encourage everyone just to basically have fun doing this. And I think we're almost out of time. I'm going to keep painting.
Yeah, we have just a couple minutes left, and I want to ask everybody if you want to share your Instagram handle in the chat. We all should follow each other, and I know I'm following a lot of you already. And I also want to encourage you to always post your paint party art on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, post it and hashtag Brophy Art Academy and tag at Brophy Art Academy so that we get to see it. And I run that account, and I would love to share your art with our audience, which I normally do when I catch it.
Yeah.
Catch it on there. So share it.
And tag Pasca wherever you are. If it's Pasca Australia, Pasca Europe, or Spain, or, you know, Indonesia, you know, Pasca has Instagram sites for every country. Pasca USA is great. Pasca Official. Show those folks what you're doing with their pens, because I really want to eventually get these pens in schools, and so that the art programs are very easy and informative, and allow more people to be creative and graduate to be amazing artists. So that's my goal. And that's why I'm doing these classes, because I really struggled by not having materials and not having really anybody to show me how to do things. I just kind of had to figure out my own way. And, you know, originally these pens were not designed to really do art with. They were just for kids to play with. And look at all the great art around the world that people are creating. It's just amazing. The techniques that, you know, there's other people have different techniques. Some people go light to dark instead of dark to light. Some people do realism, like my buddy Phil. My buddy Caspian DeLuce down there in Sydney does some cool art. My friend Mark Longnecker, a famous tattoo artist, he does his tattoo art, and it's just like really cool. It's like kind of like surf style tattoos. And you know, there's just so many folks out there doing some amazing things, and a lot of them got their start just like this. All right, so you can see how quickly I'm progressing now just with these bubbles. And this basic blend, was in the blending class last week, of just trying to create this round, you know, effect. You do enough bubbles, you can really get it down. And these are like just pretty generic bubbles. If you really wanted to get into it, you could get some like really cool reflections and things on it.
Rita asked a good question. Does Posca have a donation program for schools? They do not have one, like an official one at the moment, but they do give away a lot of Poscas, and we help them a little bit with that. We want to help them a lot more. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah,
I want to do a shout out to a couple people.
Sure.
One to Chris Cuddy. Chris, you may not know this, but you won a box of paint pens a couple weeks ago, and you have not sent us your mailing address. So you need to do that because I want to get your winnings to you.
Cool.
And then the big shout out is to Matthew King. Matthew King is on here with us right now. Matthew, thank you. He sent Drew and I a very special gift today. And I want to try to figure out how to share it with everybody from my phone, but my spotlighting thing isn't working properly. We're going to have to share it next time.
Yeah, Matthew, thank you so much. I had seen pictures of it, and Matthew made this amazing chair. I wanted to use it today, but it wouldn't fit back here. So maybe next week with the grayscale class, I'll try to utilize that and show it off for you. Amazing craftsmanship and metalwork. I think Maria is trying to get a picture of it somehow. And she's over there.
I was going to try to spotlight my own thing.
There we go.
But it wouldn't work.
But thank you, Matthew. We're going to showcase it and show it to everyone next week. Just came today. The UPS guy was, what is this?
And we were so excited. So we like getting
All right, this
gifts.
is how far I've gotten on mine. So don't feel bad if you haven't gotten that far on yours.
And I just want to note, this is what it looks like when things are working out. Doesn't it look a little messy?
Yeah.
This is what life looks like when things are working out. So when things look messy, just say that to yourself.
Yeah. And this has been a lot of fun. I'll do the time lapse finish of this, and hopefully everybody learned a lot, and really just learned to let go and have fun. And,
tell all your friends about our Wednesday Posca paint parties. We want more people on here, and you can help us by just letting people know to sign up at brophyartacademy.com/events.
I think this one's going to be better than that one.
It might be. I don't know.
Not as big.
I don't know, but thank you for being here. We really appreciate our connection with all of you. It's the inner circle, man. It's the inner circle. It feels good.
And
we love you all.
Yeah, and the best part is usually be some amazing art that comes out of this. Not just today, but for years to come. So thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.